Hello, fellow fans. I'm Mark. United with me is my co-host to lighten things up this week. It's Light It Up. Put your hands in the sky now. Yeah, if you want to get fly. Bryan can do it all right now. Yeah, he's going to get fly. Hey, Bryan.
Raise the roof.
Oh, man. I hope all of our DCOM listeners got that reference. Welcome, everyone, to UWF on the Chip and Company Podcast Network. This is a light episode. We're going to lighten things up this week to bring us back after some time off. On the last episode, Bryan and I united with Basically Haunted, the podcast, Allie and Miriam, to discuss some spooky podcasts and fun stuff. On this episode, like I said, we're lightening things up. So join us as UWF starts now.
All right, let's do this one last time.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Football is life.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
X never, ever marks the spot.
Is Star Wars the one with the little wizard boy?
This is the way.
Avengers! Assemble.
Ah, chills. Literal chills.
Hello, fans. Thank you all for uniting with us as we talk about all things fandom. Bryan, hello. Thank you for joining me again. Love having you. Please give us a rate or review wherever you listen so you can unite with more fans out there on the Chip and Company Podcast Network. Follow UWF on Facebook, Instagram, X, Twitter, and join us on Discord to enjoy Discord privileges, such as geeking out with us in forums, being a guest judge, random Rushmores. It's all there for you on UWF and Chip and Company Discord. Bryan, you got out of the house and went on a trip, and I am excited to hear about all the adventures you have been on.
Yeah, my trip is the reason we didn't have an episode last week. Hurricane Milton is the reason we didn't have an episode the week before, so we've been off for a couple weeks, so we apologize, but we are back. Yeah, so I got out of the house. It was nice. Went to New York Comic Con and spent a little time with Dislife Mark, and it was fantastic.
Bryan, I need to know something. Is your office heartbroken because the best Italian restaurant in New York City is closed in Times Square?
Which restaurant are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, Sbarro?
Sbarro's.
Yeah.
The meeting is until 3, but I always like to come to New York a little bit early and hit some of my favorite haunts. Like right here, my favorite New York pizza joint. And I'm going to go get me a New York slice.
I guess I didn't really think about it. We were able to get Park Avenue Pizza, I think is the pizza place we had while we were up there, but we went to TikTok Diner across the street. Shout out to them, across the street from Madison Square Garden. Just down, It's on 8th and 37th. It was fantastic, and we saw Jim Cummings at TikTok Diner. And listener of the show, Fabio, was right in front of him. They said, "We can't seat you till the rest of your party's here. Sir, can we help you?" Ends up being Jim Cummings, and Fabio said, in hindsight, he wished he'd have said, "Oh, it's no bother," but he missed it. And I just wanted to say, let's get dangerous, but we let the man eat in peace.
I'm going to say, Bryan, let our listeners over or listening out there who don't have to IMDb it know who Jim Cummings is.
Who isn't Jim Cummings the voice of? Let's do this.
The game where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
We're going to do this.
For those of you that are unaware of what that noise is, Mark's a smart man. I like to put him on his toes every once in a while. I think that's how it goes, right?
Something like that.
I can't get my camera to focus, so you're just going to see me all fuzzy for the rest of this episode. I don't know.
And the bad part is Bryan's camera is blurry, and yet he's still the most beautiful person on this show. It hurts.
Okay, so your Mount Rushmore of Jim Cummings voiced characters.
Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
I feel like that's easy, right?
Have to, right?
Oh my God, I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted to make sure I'm not missing anything, so I am going through his IMDb.
Well, yeah, but you're gonna find 603 different voice acting credits, which is absolutely wild. I'm gonna go with Winnie the Pooh. I'm gonna go with Hondo Onaka.
Is he Hondo? Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with
Hondo Onaka.
He's also Tigger. I'm gonna go with Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, number 2 on my list.
Okay. And
Darkwing Duck.
let's see, where else is he going to pop up in my brain? I'll go Tigger until I come up with something else. What are you at?
Jim Cummings. Oh, look at that. God, he's just done a bunch of additional voices. I feel like if you watch something animated, like he's been there from Adventure Time, Gravity Falls, Phineas and Ferb. Oh, he's the narrator on Phineas and Ferb, number 3.
That is a good one. I like that.
Do.
He plays Pete the Cat in a lot of like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and stuff like that.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
But it's, I mean, this is a very difficult Rushmore. I'm not going to lie.
Hondo's a good one. I'm trying to see if I can think or find something spicy for my number 4.
He was the voice of Cat and Cat Dog.
Oh, jeez. Wow. All right.
Do people even know what Cat Dog is anymore?
I was just wondering. I don't know if I think our older audience might, but our younger audience, if we have them, they're going to be like, what?
He's done the voice of Tasmanian Devil for a while.
Yeah, he's done a lot of...
I'm going to go Hondo, Winnie the Pooh, Darkwing Duck, and... I'm going to go with Cat from Cat Dog. That's my 4th.
God, in Marvel Alliance, Ultimate Alliance 2, he played Thor and Scorpion.
He also played Ed, the hyena from The Lion King.
Oh, shoot. That might be my number 4. I know it's bad, but I love Ed.
It's wild, man. Like, kids become a voice actor.
Good Lord, yeah. I can't. Oh my God, he even did the Boondocks. Duck Dodgers. Wow.
He was doing a signing at Comic-Con. He was right next to Tara Strong, and we played a game of who has more voice credits, and it was Jim Cummings, which, what did I say, 603?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tara Strong was more than that, if I remember correctly.
Good for her.
And Tara Strong was 656.
Whoa.
And Miss Minutes is her best role.
Welcome to the Time Variance Authority. I'm Miss Minutes, and it's my job to catch you up before you stand trial for your crimes.
I don't even know if I want to argue with that. I'm not going to. Miss Minutes is iconic.
So we did that. All right. If you want to hear more about Comic-Con, like, just listen to this week's This Life podcast here on the Chip and Company Podcast Network. Mark and I recapped everything that we did, including a wonderful tour and interview with the folks over at Funko. Took good care of us. It was just a great weekend, including the panel for shrinking.
Bryan, I think before we get to anything else, though, you brought up the TikTok diner. I think our listeners who are well aware of your limited menu want to know what you ate at a New York diner.
What does one eat at a diner besides breakfast food?
Thank you, darling.
Why would anybody ever eat anything besides breakfast food?
People are idiots, Leslie. Just give me all the bacon and eggs you have. Wait. I worry what you just heard was, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all the bacon and eggs you have. Do you understand?
I feel like you ate fries.
No, it was at like 10 in the morning, 10:30.
So you ate fries without ketchup. It's too early for ketchup.
No, I don't have ketchup ever.
Oh, that's right. God. All right.
So no, I had a wonderful, I had buttermilk pancakes, bacon, little scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs? That's good. Would you recommend to our convention-going listeners to definitely check out New York Comic Con?
Yeah, if you like any sort of con, the only comparable one to this is San Diego Comic Con that happens every July. But New York Comic Con is the most attended convention in North America. There was more than 210,000 visitors this year. Just people everywhere. It was great. The show floor was massive, bigger than any show floor I've ever seen at a con. It was really, really fun.
But yeah, check out Chip and Co. I geeked out when I saw that they met Casper Van Dien from Starship Troopers and Sleepy Hollow. So I geeked out at that.
They spent like 20 minutes with Casper Van Dien. And while they were in line, so they met Casper Van Dien. Denise Richards had too long of a line, which I wonder why. But they met Ella Purnell from Fallout. While they were waiting on them, like me and Fabio hung around to the side, and I went and just people watched, and I watched people meet Danny Rojas, and he just looked like the nicest man in the world, but I just didn't spend the money to go meet him because I'm lame.
Well, yeah, he's also busy teaching Patrick Mahomes about football, soccer, and telling people about State Farm.
So bad.
Well, you can catch him this week in Venom: The Last Dance. God, I hate that title. So yeah,
the Rotten Tomatoes meter released day of this recording. Venom for Venom: The Last Dance.
Yeah,
37% fits right in with the other two.
Yeah, and they still have Craven coming out soon.
Listener of the show, Kevin, went to the Sony panel at New York Comic Con and saw part of Craven, and he says it's as bad as you imagine it will be.
Yeah, I'm hearing it's a step up from Madam Web, but that's not really saying anything, is it?
Can you go down?
I had tickets to go see it, but sadly work felt otherwise. So it looks like I'm gonna have to wait a couple of days to go see Venom.
My kid will probably want to go see it, so I'll probably end up there this weekend.
Feeling hot.
Yeah, I still need to do the double feature leading up to it. I'm getting real tired of TikTok. People making TikToks of, I just said TikToks a lot, making spoilers for movies. Like, I had to avoid TikTok because they kept wanting to show the ending to Smile 2. And yeah, just stop. Literally, it's the opening weekend and you're doing that. And I hate you. And I'm so glad I can make your life less interesting, I hope.
We have very different algorithms because I didn't even know that movie had come out yet.
I don't know how I got on it because I didn't like any of it. Clearly, I wouldn't like any of it, so I don't know how I got on it.
It's just horror. It's just the horror film genre, I would assume, is what fills your TikTok.
Yeah, they tried to ruin it, but I'm a quick scroller.
So you saw it, and?
All right, so my quick review for Smile 2. If you're looking for a scary movie, yes, there's a lot of good jumps. If you're looking for a horror movie where you're not going to eye roll or yell at someone and be like, why are you doing that? This is that movie for you. A rare sequel that is better, and a lot of people have the first one as a well-reviewed movie. This one is easily better. Go see it. It's one of those horror movies where you will go home still kind of on edge about it. Yeah, scares, good storytelling. And I hope the director is chosen to do Midnight Suns for Marvel.
I think if that project happens, it's going to be your boy Michael Giacchino.
I did rewatch. I did a double feature of Werewolf by Night.
I just rewatched Werewolf by Night last night.
Yeah, I did black and white and color, and the color version. I'm glad if it helps more audiences watch it. But I love the black and white version.
That's the only one I watch. I only watch the black and white. I mean, I've seen in color, but I prefer black and white as well.
But yes, go see Smile 2 if you're looking for a good horror flick this season.
We were just talking before we went on air. You live just a little further from the theater now, so you try to do a couple of movies in a day. You saw Smile 2 followed by?
Actually, I saw Smile 2 last. So I probably should have seen a heavier movie, then gone to the lighter one. The first one I saw was Saturday Night. It's about the 90 minutes leading up to the first episode of Saturday Night Live. And I really enjoyed it.
It's kind of condensed to that one time frame. It's not
interesting. They try to say it's done in real time. I wouldn't go quite that far.
But that's the premise is just the nerves and the uncertainty leading up to the very first episode.
Literally not knowing if they were going to go live or not, or if they were going to do a rerun of the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. So, but Gabriel LaBelle is playing Lorne Michaels. He's from The Fabelmans. I'm a big fan of his work. It's directed by Jason Reitman. So go see it. The cast is full of people who are going to go, oh, I know them. Oh my God, they look just like those real people. So, and what I loved a lot about it is it has good laughs in it. It's about Saturday Night Live. I would hope it would be funny, but you've seen a lot of biography, real life stories where they play it heavier, and this one actually had some good laughs in it.
Nice.
So I think it could end up, it's definitely my top 10 for the year. We'll get back to later in the year if it ends up in the top 5.
Yeah, we got to do that. We do our New Year's countdown every year now. Before we continue, please take a moment to listen to our sponsors.
Hey guys, Diz Life Mark here, and I want to tell you all about the official travel partner here at Chip & Company. Let our good friend Sarah at Destination to Travel help you plan your next Disney vacation. Sarah specializes in planning dream vacations for your family. She's an authorized Disney vacation planner, and she can help with every step of your magical vacation. The best thing is that her services are 100% free. Want to travel beyond Disney? Sarah has you covered there too. Want to find out more? Fill out a trip request form over at the website at Chip & Co. or email her directly at sarahsolberg@d2travel.com. Start planning that dream vacation today. Email her at sarahsolberg@d2travel.com.
You went to a movie. Did you do a double last week as well? I know you saw The Wild Robot.
I did see The Wild Robot. Apparently I'm a little heartless, judging by my reviewers that read my reviews. I didn't cry.
Listeners of this show already knew you were heartless, but
rude. I didn't cry.
Goose. That's all I'll say. Goose.
Whatever. Anyways,
but I hear it's good. Like I hear it's really good.
It is really good. I hate to say this, the score was my favorite part. And you know me though, I love movie scores, but
somebody playing the United We Fan drinking game just took a shot.
I know. It is really good. I only gave it 1 out of 2 thumbs up, which I know some people are going to hate me for. The message of the film does get almost, it's borderline slightly preachy, but doesn't quite cross it to where it's annoying.
Like WALL-E?
Yeah. WALL-E is not preachy. You shut your mouth.
WALL-E is the most preachy Pixar film that exists.
I'm going to preach all over you. It is not. How dare you? Probably Element, and Luca is preachier than that movie.
Agree to disagree. Elemental, Luca, I can see what you're saying. Elemental, I thought, pulled it off.
But yes, Wild Robot's good. I don't think it's going to win Best Animated Movie, and I didn't cry like others did.
You don't think it will? I didn't think there was anything that would ever beat it. What do you think beats it?
I don't know.
From everything I've been reading, it sounds like it's an absolute shoo-in.
No. Well, Hans Zimmer thought he had a shoo-in for another Oscar for Dune 2, and that's not happening.
Yeah, but I'm good with that.
I am too. We both are.
What were the rules around that? Let's read that real quick. Yeah, Hans Zimmer has been ruled ineligible for the Oscars for Dune Part 2 because it is surpassing the Academy's limit on pre-existing music and has more than 20% of music that was reused from the first film.
Yeah. As a big score, honestly, I would vote for the Robot movie over his score for that. But Inside Out 2 is going to get my vote for Best Animated Movie of the Year.
Okay. I haven't seen The Wild Robot.
Wait, did that come out last year? That came out last year.
Inside Out 2? No, it's been like 4 months.
No, it came out this year. You're right. My bad. Old age.
Good morning.
Oh,
I'm Wilfred Brimley, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about diabetes.
All right, I'm going to do some quick reviews for everyone who's watching horror movies out there. Studio 666 on Peacock. It's the Foo Fighters and a haunted house movie. It's got comedy and good scares. I like it. I think it is Hulu has a movie called Sting, and it's about an alien spider. That's actually a pretty good monster movie. Late Night with the Devil. I highly recommended it. That is on Hulu. Check it out. It is in my
just
top 10
watched it.
for the year.
It's friggin' awesome.
Yep. I watched Maxine on HBO. It's the third part of the trilogy that has X and Pearl. I don't quite get the hype of it. I'm sure our Basically Haunted podcast friends have a higher review of it than me, but this third part I actually liked more than the other two. That's on HBO. Sticking with HBO is Salem's Lot. The original is a good TV horror movie, and this one, it's a solid vampire movie. I wouldn't say scary. It's got good visuals. I can definitely see why it went to streaming and not theaters. Yeah, so that's my quick review of things Mark has watched recently.
Okay. Let's talk about television. What has Mark watched in television? Have you watched Penguin?
I am a big fan of Penguin, or as Benedict Cumberbatch says, Penglings.
We're 5 episodes into the Penguin. I'm also caught up. What are your impressions of it?
I visually great, acting great. I have no complaints about it. Every episode grabs you. Christine Milioti, yes.
Kristen Milioti.
Milioti, thank you. Kristen. With a C. Ooh, wow, spicy. Sophia Falcone is her character, and like Colin Farrell's great as the Penguin, but she knows how to steal a series, and just she's great. Highly recommend the show.
Yeah, if you don't know who Kristen Milioti is,
even if you're not a Batman fan,
yeah, you like. So that's the thing is like I really feel like HBO feels like they have a Sopranos level show back on their hands, because this truly is just the Sopranos in the world of Batman, right? Like there's been no reference to Batman outside of the first 3 minutes. How they actually use the events in the final 45 minutes of the Batman and how that sets up everything into motion with the flooding that the Riddler caused and stuff like that. Actually really, really interesting. Kristen Milioti, if you don't know who she is, she was the mother in How I Met Your Mother. She was also in Palm Springs with Andy Samberg on Hulu.
So good.
I love that movie.
Yep.
She is terrifying. Like absolutely terrifying. Like, and she's hot. Because she's terrifying. Like it's hard to explain, but the way that
learning another side of Bryan.
There's 3 different moving parts, 3 different family. Like what she does in that 4th episode is wild.
Yeah.
And that episode was amazing. I wish John Turturro had come back in the role of Carmine Falcone. He's kind of insert foot in mouth a little bit, talking about why he didn't come back to the role. It's a little bit, I mean, you can think what you want there, and we're not here to really hash that out, but I wish he had come back because he was really good in the Batman. But Mark Strong that stepped into that role fit right in too.
I love him.
This show has not missed at all. And I don't care about The Sopranos. Like I tried it. It just wasn't for me. But maybe all you had to do was put The Sopranos in the Batman universe. Like, again, they're potentially like her boyfriend or whoever he is could potentially become some sort of Batman villain. They're saying that this show is going to lead into the events of the Batman 2. Who knows how? But if you've seen the Batman, like it is not like a superhero film. It's more of a dark crime. And this just takes the dark crime up to another notch. And even though he's the main character of the show, they never let you for once think that Oswald Cobblepot, a.k.a. the Penguin, is a good guy by any stretch of the imagination. Nobody's a good guy in this show. And it's interesting.
Yeah, like I said, you don't need to really see the Batman. It'll add context and more depth to it. No weak episodes. You said it. As someone who just got annoyed and burned with the show Gotham, this is a huge step up. But yeah, I can't recommend this show enough. Just great acting, great storytelling. I look forward to seeing how it goes. So
only 3 episodes left. It's only an 8 episode first season. So
I can get it because it is an expensive looking show. So I feel like 10. The other thing I like is as you're watching it, you're thinking, oh man, why isn't Batman showing up to stop this or stop that? You kind of start to realize, oh crap, Gotham kind of fell apart at the end of the Batman. He can't be everywhere at once.
Right.
In the movies, you always see Batman stopping smaller crimes and all that, and you're kind of realizing Gotham is a pretty big place. Batman can't always be there.
Your best guess. Does a physical penguin or a rubber duck boat make its appearance in season 1? Because
it would be great
if it's going to happen, we know where now.
Yeah.
I hope
it would be
happens.
Great if like a little duck boat toy showed up.
Just playing homage, basically.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we get a flashback of him at like Gotham City Zoo and he's enjoying the penguins. That might be it. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because the way the show's played it off is the term penguin is more of a derogatory term toward him.
Yes.
And I mean, it always was, but everybody assumes that the penguin character to be super weird like Danny DeVito portrayed it. Like the comic books do have the precedent of the animal and the rubber duck boat, but not quite as intense as Danny DeVito played it. So I'm curious what they pull and what they don't.
Bryan, thank you for making so many references to the wonderfully animated Batman Returns movie.
So bad. What else is streaming?
Well, there's a small little superhero or anti-villain show on Disney Plus.
Oh, it's super small.
Yeah. Probably really small budget.
Down the road.
Ugh.
That song, I think that song is fire. I do like all the different renditions of the song. I still think it's good, but I don't think it holds a candle to much of any of the songs that were on WandaVision. But we've seen 6 episodes. The day of this recording is in half an hour. The 7th episode will drop. I do think that the 6th episode gave a lot of clarity and answered a lot of questions as to how one particular character is who they were. I thought the 6th episode was the strongest of the show, right behind the first, probably. What did you?
Wow.
What do you think where we are here?
I was just about to say that episode started, and I was going, it's going to be a backstory episode, and then I got locked into it, and it's honestly my favorite episode of the season so far.
Bonerific 69.
Did you, Bryan? You probably knew that was him right away, didn't you?
I assumed.
Yeah.
I mean, I assumed it was him. Did you see Agatha's shirt when she was interrogating Billy?
No.
Okay. So if you compare the 2 scenes from the first episode and the 6th episode, it's obviously played a lot more for comedic effect because Agatha's so crazy. Very funny. But I went back to the first episode to see if I somehow missed it, but no, she's got 2 different wardrobes on. In the 6th episode, where you can see how crazy Agatha's going, she's wearing a Boner Family Reunion t-shirt, and it says "Pitch a Tent" on it, and it's so funny. And I found that shirt on Amazon, and I'm going to buy it.
Your wife's going to let you out of the house with it?
No, it would be a perfect for an Earth's Mightiest Weirdos like live stream, but we don't do that anymore. But no, I think Agatha, for the WandaVision fan, I think anybody who loved WandaVision like me will like Agatha. If you haven't given it a shot, but you liked WandaVision, watch it. But it's not the same. And I think that's what I like about it, is this show is very self-aware of what it is and its budget and everything else that's going with it. And you just let Aubrey Plaza and Catherine Hahn do their thing.
I'm not blown away by the show. I was glad for that recent episode because it was a break from what I felt like was very formulaic episodes, and I was glad for something new. For anyone who might come at me for not liking the show. Please stop. I'm like that person who Miss Marvel, that series. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I actually defend She-Hulk. So please do not come at me for any reason other than I'm saying I just think it's okay. Nothing too special. And if I don't hear The Witch's Road for a while, I'm okay. Just like I don't want to hear Season of the Witch anytime soon. Burned out.
Episode 7 premiered this week. Episodes 8 and 9 both drop right before Halloween next week. The show will be done next Wednesday night.
Wait, we only have 2 episodes?
3 total. Tonight and then 2 next week.
For
a total of 9.
Well, let's see if Marvel Studios, speaking of which, Bryan, I've got to stand up and give a standing ovation to Marvel for their Marvel television intro, because I don't like seeing the cinematic intro before the TV shows. It made me like burned out on that intro. So I love that they have their own little smaller intro. Yeah.
Yeah, no, a half-hour show needed it. Yeah, the 36-second thing was just too much.
Yeah, let's see if Marvel knows how to wrap up a series. They don't usually stick the landing also.
Let's see. Let's give Marvel another standing ovation for finally doing what we have been saying they would do all along. And Blade has been removed from the calendar altogether.
Do you think Wesley Snipes is right? There's only ever going to be one Blade?
No, because I do think Midnight Suns eventually gets made, but I don't think Blade ever sees the light of day. I do think we do see the character of Blade, but he does not get his own project.
Yeah, reading the rumors that it's because it doesn't fit in with their current plans.
I don't totally buy the multiverse thing.
No.
The rumor was that Blade, as well as Nova and something else, got removed because they don't focus on the multiverse saga. Now, I do think that there is a lot of quality over quantity, and some things are being pulled back. I think there is some truth to that, but I don't think just because it has no multiverse tie doesn't mean that doesn't mean that's why it's not getting made. But I do think that they're looking forward to wrapping up the multiverse saga with Avengers Secret Wars and Avengers Doomsday. But I just think that they can't get Blade right, and there's just no sense in leaving it on the calendar for literally a year from now, because there's just no way. Tom Holland did confirm, though, on the Jimmy Fallon show last night that Spider-Man 4 starts production next summer, directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi.
I do like that he also has said that he's has more weight for his opinion, and some of the earlier story directions he didn't like, and he finally has the power to speak up. So I'm hoping that saves Sony from themselves.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, with Destin Daniel Cretton doing the movie, we know that he directed Wonder Man, which we still haven't ever been officially told about, but that show's pretty much done. Played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen. So, like, Destin Daniel Cretton, he's an MCU guy. That's enough for me to know that Spider-Man 4 is going to be back in the MCU, and Disney and Sony are going to work that out. So that makes me excited as well.
Yeah.
I want the thing is, I want Spider-Man No Way Home to still count. So I don't know how you necessarily do that. I don't want the whole world to learn about him all over again and then make none of it count. But I'm sure they'll figure it out.
They will. I trust in them. I mean, as long as Marvel has their hand on the wheel as well, and we don't get, as we spoke earlier, Sony, Venom, Madam Web, Kraven, I think we'll be fine with Spider-Man.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Go ahead.
Do you think Scarlet Witch is going to take Blade's movie spot?
I hope so. Be far more interesting. Do you think Scarlet Witch appears in one of these final 3 episodes of Agatha? I do not. And
I don't. I was going to say I hope not.
I think this show does confirm she's not dead, but I think if you were already paying Elizabeth Olsen to be part of the show, you would have at least shown some of her in the first episode and her dead body. But you clearly hid all you hid everything of it being Elizabeth Olsen because you're not paying for her to be in this show.
Yes. Moving on, we had some poster controversy with the new Wicked movie. I'm gonna try to be as supportive and sensitive on this topic.
I'm not.
As a fan of the movie, as someone who has friends who thoroughly love Wicked, who make fan posters as a sign of love. I think that fan poster that became the hot topic was just done. I think it's a small thing that they were just like, oh, we're just going to adjust a little to make the poster look like the musical poster. I think we made dragons out of windmills with it. And I'm sure Universal's like, oh God, we let's hope this doesn't have a bad thing. There's a part 2 already like pretty much done coming out next year. So, I mean, I hope it doesn't cause any backlash, but I'm on the support of just a fan making a fan poster. They covered up both of them to make it more like the Playbill poster. So
So do you want to kind of give the details for those that may not be aware of exactly what happened here? Because I'm not going to be super I think it's absolutely ridiculous how she acted.
Yeah, let me look up names real quick.
But long story short is Cynthia Erivo, who plays Elphaba and the Wicked Witch of the West.
The green one.
They recreated the poster for Wicked the musical, right? Where it's Glinda is whispering into the ear of Elphaba. Yes. And but in the poster for the musical, her hat's down low, kind of goes just below her nose, and Glinda's hand goes up almost all the way to her forehead. Yeah. And they recreated this poster, but her hand was much lower, so you could see more of Ariana Grande's face, and the hat was much higher, so you could see more of Cynthia Erivo's face. They took the poster and then edited it to make it look like the musical poster. That's all they did. Like, if you didn't want somebody to do this, you should have never, ever recreated the poster yourself.
Right.
And Cynthia Erivo responded and said that it's the most disrespected she's ever been in her entire life. And I think that is the most ridiculous possible thing that she could have said. And it annoyed me. I understand she wants to be seen and everything else. Unfortunately, we know the world and we know that like worse things have probably happened to her. This fan did not do this out of disrespect for her. They did it out of their love for the musical.
Wicked. Yeah.
And like to call it the most disrespectful thing she's ever experienced in her life, I thought was absolutely ridiculous and made a villain of somebody who didn't deserve to be villainized.
Yes. My thing is, I feel like she almost is not prepared for the world of Wicked that she's entering in. From everything I keep seeing since the first preview and how it was broken down, everyone explained this is Broadway's Infinity War and Endgame. So I'm enjoying watching from the sideline, everybody freaking out. And I think she could have gotten a little bit of a heads up of, hey, we have very passionate fans and they're going to make fan posters. They're going to do stuff like this.
She should have known that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to.
So Mark, when this happened, when I was hanging out with Mark on Broadway, right? So like Mark tried to see it from both sides. And Mark, like I just said, I think it's ridiculous. And I just shared the same opinion I just did, with Mark as well. And he was really kind of seeing it from both sides. And it just doesn't make any sense. Like, again, it comes back to me is if you didn't want this to happen, you should have never even thought about recreating the poster.
I want to try to see it from each side, but looking at it from both sides, I agree. I don't like how the maker of the poster was turned into a villain. Both characters on it were adjusted. It's not like they covered you up fully or did anything to embellish. They really did just adjust the movie poster to the playbill cover. And if this is the biggest thing in your life, then I mean, I don't want to overstep, but I want to say, man, if this is the biggest thing is someone had made a fan poster you didn't like, then life is pretty great.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is where I don't take her at face value, because this really isn't. Unfortunately, I'm sure she's dealt with much worse things.
Yes, I know when she got cast, which here's the thing, she's the main reason I'm excited for the movie. So when she got cast, I'm sure she dealt with a lot of backlash because it is such a popular role. But I know she's going to nail it. This was just not a good look.
Yeah, and I think weirdly enough, like I think everybody wanted it to be Elsa. What's her name? Adele Dazeem. I think they wanted it to be Idina Menzel, right? Like, so I think that's part of. I think some people did, yeah. So I've seen more backlash to her being cast in the role. I don't know. Like, I felt really bad for the person who was just genuinely trying to do something cool. And
here's the thing. It's not like it was a groundbreaking fan made poster. It's not like someone like thought out of the box for that. They literally just recreated the playbill.
Yep. While we take a moment to cool down, please take a moment to listen to our sponsors.
Is Disney World home to you? Realtor Victor Naraki can help make it a reality. Realtor Victor Naraki specializes in making your Disney home dreams come true. Second homes, investment homes, retirement, relocation. With Victor's input, he will show you the home opportunities that you don't get to see as a tourist. Imagine being at the park in minutes, walking around the World Showcase for daily exercise, watching the fireworks in your own backyard, or having Disney Springs as your local mall. Have you ever heard of Windermere, Winter Garden, Horizon West, Dr. Phillips, Claremont, Lake Nona, or Disney's own Celebration and Golden Oak? Victor will introduce you to these communities, which are just minutes to the magic. Stop imagining a Disney life and start living your dream today. Call Victor at 407-340-9375. And don't forget to mention that you heard all about Victor here on the Chip and Company Podcast Network. Head over to celebratingflorida.com and start living your magical life today.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
But anyways, Bryan, you were in New York. You saw some Broadway shows. We did a Broadway episode many, many moons ago when it was just United We Fan. But you saw some shows. And I think hopefully we can revisit the Broadway arena. But for now, Bryan, give us some quick reviews on the shows you saw.
Yeah, so I saw what did I see? Sorry, I'm looking.
Great Scott.
I saw Back to the Future, the musical.
You were in the room where it happened.
Winter Garden Theater on Saturday night. I saw Roger Bart, who is the singing voice of Hercules in the animated Hercules, I learned. He was great as Doc Brown. The DeLorean, if nothing else, worth going to see the show for. And then I also saw Hamilton, and I wanted to shout out specifically Trey Curtis, who played the title role of Hamilton. I think he's better in the role than Lin-Manuel Miranda is in that role. I think Lin-Manuel Miranda and Mark voiced this better than me. He kind of sings. He kind of is singing while he talks. Trey Curtis legitimately sang the lyrics for Hamilton, which it didn't take anything away from the show. I thought it was absolutely spectacular. I thought it was really well done. I liked him a lot. And then the guy that played George Washington, Nicholas Christopher, nailed it. Like, absolutely nailed it. I've seen it on Disney Plus a handful of times. So I kind of knew what to expect, but I just think everything was great. The guy that played Thomas Jefferson and Lafayette, Bryson Bruce, absolutely great as well. Like, Hamilton was everything I thought it would be and more. Really, really enjoyed it. At the intermission, the people sitting behind me really didn't seem like they knew what they were getting into. They said it's too hard to follow. I just wish they would sing regular. Like, it was it was a little bit weird. Like I was like, I don't know how you go to Hamilton a decade after it came out and not know what you're getting into, but to each their own, right? So
it's like those people who don't know what Avatar is about. It's like, how do you not know what Avatar is about? It's the highest grossing movie. This is going to be the highest grossing musical. Like, how do you not know this?
Fern Gully.
Jesus.
No, but like, I mean, again, to each their own. Like,
yeah.
I was just surprised to hear that. Like, saying it was hard to follow. Like, I can understand that. If you haven't seen it, especially with like subtitles on Disney Plus, you may not understand everything that's happening. So I mean, I don't know, but it was everything I thought it would be, and then some. Really, really enjoyed it. And then Back to the Future, the musical, super corny in a lot of places, which is kind of the point, right? It's campy, it's weird. I thought that the first 15 minutes, the music wasn't very good. And then I think it finds its footing a little ways into it. Coming out of the intermission, Doc Brown's Dream. That's a fun musical number.
I want to listen to that while I ride Space Mountain.
When Doc Brown has to climb the stairs to the top of the clock tower and he just runs in place. Like, I thought that was very, very funny. But no, like, absolutely. If you like Back to the Future, it's worth your time.
Yeah. Back to the Future. I've seen it multiple times. Great theater going experience. You're right. Not a great soundtrack. The performer, I hate that I can't remember his name, who plays Mayor Goldie Wilson, nailed his song.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've gotten to see Roger, Bart, and Casey, who plays Marty. Please go see them if you can. Hamilton, I mean, I thought it was overplayed. I was burned out. And then, I saw it on Disney Plus. I'm like, oh, it's okay. But then I got a chance to see it when I was on tour. Hamilton in person is an experience. It just blew my mind. Wait for it. When I saw that in person, I had chills, like that song.
If nothing else, like the technical difficulty that goes around Angelica's song when they do the rewind and how they execute that was really cool. One more thing about Back to the Future is you could have convinced me that the guy playing Biff was the guy from the film. He looked exactly like Biff, especially in that green jumpsuit at the end. He looks exactly like Biff, and it totally threw me off.
Well, Bryan, listeners, let us know if you want to have us do another Broadway episode. I know I would be just running up and down the aisle if we could.
I just gave you 75% of what I could on that episode.
No, we're going to expand you. We're going to expand you, Bryan, like a playbill. So you were in New York. The World Series just about to start. When this episode comes out, Game 1 will have been played. It is, of course, the Dodgers versus
the Yankees.
So, Bryan, you're a smart sports guy. Agents of Field. Let's hear your predictions for the World Series.
What my prediction is, or what I want to happen?
Both. That way you can hurt me and make me happy.
I want an asteroid to hit the Earth, and we don't have to watch either team win.
Here's my hot take. Get it. Play the sound clip.
Feeling hot.
I am a huge baseball fan. I dislike, you didn't say this, I dislike anyone who's like, this is bad for baseball.
I didn't say stupid. That. It's just my personal rooting interest.
I know. Just let me rant. So I'm going to say this. I enjoyed the Rangers versus Diamondbacks World Series. Okay. 2 small market underdog stories. It was great. Hardly anyone watched it. This one is going to be huge ratings. Ohtani, Judge, Freeman, Mookie, Soto, Stanton, Cole. This is going to be great for the game of baseball, and people are actually going to care and watch it. This is how you expand the game. Do I want it to always be 2 out of the 3 highest payrolls in baseball? No, I don't want it to always be that. But to everyone who's saying this is bad for baseball, if you bring up Moneyball, I'm going to throw something at you. This is going to be a really good World Series for the game of baseball. Fans should watch and be entertained by the likes of Ohtani and Judge, 2 talents that you're not going to see hardly ever anything like this.
Yeah, no, like what I want is I want the Yankees to win in LA. I want to rip the Dodgers fans' hearts out. I want to see Shohei Ohtani do something that nobody else can do. And I want to hot take.
Feeling hot.
Judge isn't even close to the most entertaining player on his own team. I don't think not anything. I think Judge is very impressive. But what Juan Soto can do and the command of the strike zone that guy has and the eye that he has and his on-base percentage and how good Juan Soto is at the age of 24, it's going to suck when he goes to play for the Mets next year.
I really hope he plays for the Mets.
He might. Like, he's only going to play for the Mets, the Yankees. Like, I don't think he's going to go anywhere else. But, like, I think Juan Soto is the second best player in this series, and it's not even close. But Shohei Ohtani, like, I want to see the man do things that nobody else can do, and I think just watching him play baseball that you're going to get that.
Wow.
It'd be kind of cool if they let Shohei pitch.
Oh, I was thinking, like, man, game 6 or 7, him come out of the bullpen. Ooh.
It'd be cool. I don't think they'd risk the $700 million investment, but they should at this point. But
wow. You didn't make me happy in any way, Bryan, with your picks or wants. Jeez.
I want the Yankees to win in LA. That's what I want.
I think the Dodgers win in game 6 in LA.
Ugh. Hate the Dodgers, man.
I hate you. No, I don't. I love you. So heck, you know what? The Rays, and for anyone who might say it's too soon, I am heartbroken about the Trop. Instead of spending money on the Trop, just pay Soto for that. Bring Soto to St. Pete. They don't play in Tampa. Bring him to St. Pete.
Yeah, but you can't pay Soto with insurance money.
Bryan, where do you think before we close out, where do you think the Rays are going to play next season?
I never considered it. There was an article on chipandco.com. It's the only first place I'd seen it. I never considered it, but Wide World of Sports at Disney World makes a lot of sense.
How do you know your co-host doesn't follow you on any social media when he brings that up?
I'm sorry.
You cut me real deep.
I just didn't see it anywhere else. Was it your idea?
Well, obviously, I'm sure somebody.
Well, no. But were you spitballing or were you sharing like articles?
Oh, I literally said when they said the roof wasn't going to be repairable, right away I said, come to ESPN.
Yeah.
If you don't want to play in Steinbrenner Field, come to ESPN.
I saw somebody say they need to go play in Oakland. Now that's just a simply ridiculous thing. Like they'd ever play baseball in Oakland.
Yeah, and for anyone who brings up Montreal, that stadium is under construction, so they can't go play with the Expos players.
Because they were gonna go. They were gonna like split the team like half and half for a little while, but I think that was more of a threat to get a new stadium.
Yep. Which I still hate what they're doing with that new stadium.
My guess is Steinbrenner Field. Like if I had to guess, they'll play at Steinbrenner. Is that where they play? Is that where you saw the Bananas in Tampa?
Yeah.
I think it's a big enough. Yeah, it's big enough that they could absolutely do it. My guess is Steinbrenner, but I'd love to see him end up at Wide World of Sports.
For anyone saying that's insulting to a Major League Baseball team, you know what's insulting? The fact that they play in St. Pete and they get very minimum fans. So if they can come to ESPN or Steinbrenner Field and sell out those venues, I love that those players actually get to appreciate fan support while they can before they have to go play in St. Pete again.
If they play at Steinbrenner, I think their attendance would actually increase over what it has been. I don't think ESPN, I don't think would have the capacity to pull that off. But
yeah, they would need to install bleachers. But my thing is install bleachers in the outfield, and you need to install retractable like covers over the stadium seats. There's a way to do it where it's cost effective. But yeah, you got to do something.
Steinbrenner Field only seats 11,000, so it probably couldn't go up.
Nah. Well, it's just it. I think the Rays, what did they average? Like 9,000?
Hold, please. While we do that, I can also talk about one.
This is not a light episode.
One other thing. Well, it is because we don't have a main topic. Rays attendance. They average 16,000 announced, so probably in reality, probably about 11,000. No, like season 3 or season 2 of Shrinking has begun on Apple TV Plus. Didn't talk about that. I went to the panel at New York Comic Con. I got to chant, he's here, he's there, he's every bleeping where to Roy Kent himself. Season 2 is off to a fantastic start. If you haven't watched Shrinking, we've told you a million times on this show to watch it, but go watch it. Harrison Ford's spectacular. Brett Goldstein is now in the show. Jason Segel's great.
Harrison Ford should be an Emmy winner for the show for season 1.
Ted McGinley, who plays Derek, is just spectacular. Watch Shrinking on Apple TV+.
Yes. Well, that concludes this episode. Bryan, thank you once again for being a great co-host. We thank you, fellow fans, for uniting with us. For those listeners who want to get in touch with the show, Bryan, tell them how.
You can find us on Instagram at United We Fan Podcast or on Facebook at United We Fan the Podcast, or shoot us an email at unitedwefan.podcast@gmail.com. Let us know anywhere there, and we can get you the link over to the Discord.
Yes, please join us on Discord to nerd out with us and reap the benefits of it. Thank you again, and listen to us wherever you check out your podcast. Till we unite again, fans, Bryan and I are off to defy gravity.
Please welcome the wickedly talented one and only Adele Dazim.
Diz Life Podcast is brought to you by the Happiness is Addictive collection. Happiness is Addictive is passionate about spreading laughter and creating smiles worldwide. They love bringing their global community together through optimism, cheer, hopefulness, merriment, and celebrating life's magical moments. They know how important it is to celebrate life's adventures, and their apparel will give you everlasting, one-of-a-kind memories through pixie-dusted family photos, compliments from park guests, and magical moments with cast members. They pride themselves on high-quality, custom-made apparel at competitive prices with world-class service. Let them help you create a lifetime of memories, whether you're Disney bounding, kicking it poolside, participating in Run Disney marathons, having costumed adventures, or just living your best Disney life. You can find their Happiness is Addictive shop on Etsy. You can also find them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and Pinterest. They are proud to be featured in Indy Central Florida, the Thoughtful Gift Club, and now here on Diz Life Podcast. Their collection was founded by a 15-year former cast member who knows how to enhance your magical moments for a lifetime of memories with your family. Don't forget to use promo code DizLife15 to take an extra 15% off. What are you waiting for? Head over to Etsy and start getting happy today. Follow the link in our show notes and you'll find out for yourself that happiness is addictive.